All right, Stags, 3.1 innings for relief for you today. Just how you evaluate your performance coming off of this?
Yeah, I thought I did a good job. Obviously, I didn't come into the game sharp enough to not let up Wiley's run, so I kind of feel bad about that. But I think overall the outing went good. Just need us to come out a little better out of the bullpen.
This is another appearance for you in relief. We talked the last time you came in relief. You were just ready for those moments.
Yeah.
Do you still feel ready? Are you enjoying that role?
Yeah, I enjoy the role a little bit. I think, the back end of the games, those are where the high pressure is, and I like the idea of those roles a little bit, so I think it's just getting more and more comfortable as it goes. So,
What you take from watching Grant and Wiley that you took with you into your performance?
yeah, I think the biggest thing was just attacking the zone, make them beat themselves. I think obviously our defense plays a great game behind the pitcher, so the biggest thing is just making them put the ball in play and force contact. So I think that's the biggest thing.
Were you there when the team was in Jacksonville for the last one?
Yeah, it was.
What was the difference that you saw with the pitchers then versus the pitchers tonight?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing was, I think as a whole we just played a better game this time. I think we came from, like Dylan said, pitch number one, and we attacked. We just kind of gave it our all, and I think that's the biggest thing. Not letting them hang around a little bit. Just when you could put the nail in the coffin, you put it in. So I think that's the biggest thing.
Talk about this road series coming up.
Yeah.
Are you excited? Nervous?
Oh, I'm definitely excited. I think anytime you can go on the road and play a Big 12 opponent, I think it's fun. I think it's exciting. I think for us, we're kind of just playing with house money. The opportunity we have, not really, last team in the Big 12 that gets in the tournament. So I think we see it as an opportunity to mess things up a little in the Big 12. Go and have fun and just enjoy and win some ball games.
What do you think this bullpen needs to do in order to be where you would want it to be going into the Big 12 tournament?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just attack. Trust on each guy. I think just throwing strikes with your best stuff from pitch number one. So I think it's the biggest thing. That's what we preach. So I'd say those are stuff that we look forward to.
And considering you came into this season as a starter, what's it like for you to kind of help directly contribute to that?
Yeah, it's nice. Obviously, I felt like a little bit when I was starting. I was hurting the team a little bit. Not just not giving my best effort. And I think finding a role in the bullpen and trying to help the team win some ball games. I think that's pretty nice for me. So I think it's the biggest thing.
Going as one of probably the lower end of the seeds in the Big 12 tournament, how much confidence does this team have that in a single elimination tournament they can get hot and go and run?
Yeah, I think it's the biggest thing. I think obviously you get in those tournaments and anybody can win any game. I think it's baseball in general, but that shows the strength of the Big 12 a little bit. That we're the last team, but we can beat any team in that conference now. So I think we are playing with a ton of confidence, just knowing that hope that down the stretch that we're going to play some of our best baseball.
Coach Wallace talked about trying to get on a run in this last stretch to the Big 12 tournament. What do you think this team needs to do in order to achieve a run?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing this team needs is just stay together and play as one. I think as soon as this team starts playing selfish or whatever, I think that's when you'll find some struggle. But I think as we stay together and we play down the stretch, confident as one bunch, I think that's when we play our best baseball. So
despite the serious sweep, obviously you guys take them West Virginia being them to the ninth inning, only down by a run 2 times. Does that give you guys any confidence, knowing that you guys are right there with even the top of the league?
Yeah, I'd say as crazy as it sounds, even though when we do lose, we gain some confidence knowing that we could play with some of the best teams in the country, not even just the conference. So I think it's the biggest, knowing we got to finish some ball games at the end, but that we're right there with the top of the best.
Dylan kind of mentioned a little bit of a loss of focus. Do you believe in that too, or?
A little bit. I think in general that we just got to be on attack from pitch number one, and I think when we do that, you can see a clear difference as a team in the results. So I think that's the biggest thing.
How do you keep a pitching staff like this together after going through some of the struggles you guys have had this season?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just picking up one another when one person struggles, the next guy's got to go in there and dominate like they do, like they know how to. So I think it's the biggest thing is just picking each other up when the next guy's name's called, ready to go. So.
What do you think this team needs to do in order to get where it wants to be at the end of the season?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think we just have to stay together. I think we have to continue. I think we're right there. I think in every single ball game, win or loss, we're always in it to the end. So I think that's the biggest thing, just knowing that it's just one small, the way baseball works, it's an inch there, it's an inning there, a pitch there. So I think it's the biggest thing is finishing ball games, start to finish. So.
Awesome. That's like on the road, Stags.
Thank you. I appreciate it.